So she's pretty adamant about understanding how this would work if she wants to go take out another loan in the future to help her kids out, or if she wants to find an investment property. What strategies you have in mind? That still have debt in their name. Is there anything they can do to show the mortgage and they pay by somebody else and not have this offset their income? Kind of like that. You know what I'm getting at?
Not so she's worried about her debt to income ratio in 5 years.
Well, just in general, right? So if she wanted to go take out a loan for something else to help her kids out or to do something for an emergency, will this transaction hinder her in any way from her debt to income perspective?
No, hell no. What type of loan is this?
And it's just hypothetical. She's like, I got 2 young girls, and I want to make sure that while you are in a contract, if I need to take out some money on credit, I can do so and not be hindered.
Got it. But is this a VA loan?
She's not talking about any specific loan right now. She's just
saying. Okay. But no. The reason I'm asking is because it will help me know how to answer the question. Do we know if it's a VA, FHA, or what
I think it's just in general. She was just like, I want to be able to set my kids up if they need me for anything. If they want to get the cosign, I want to make sure I can still do that and not have this transaction, this property's debt in my name hurt me.
No, so she won't get affected. Her debt to income ratio is not affected at all. So the way that works is if it's affected, we can never buy creative deals, man. So the way it works is
well, let me stop you there. Can I just get on the phone so you can answer for her?
Oh, okay. I thought you already talked to her. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's you. We hung up right before you called me. Give me like 30 seconds.
All right.
Hey, Mama, are you still there?
Yep.
Awesome. So we have Christian on the line.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to hear from you.
Absolutely. So Darnnell told me you had a few questions or one concern.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, and you may have touched base on this previously, but I can't remember exactly how it works for me to go forward to get another loan, like if, to where debt to income ratio doesn't mess me up to. I was telling him to help family members or something like that.
Got it. Yeah, so the debt to income ratio is not affected at all. So the way this works, this is why we use a servicing company. So usually when you go in, whether you want to buy another house, I forget, is this a FHA or a VA loan? What type of loan you have?
FHA.
Okay, this is a first time home buyer. So the only people that really need to worry about a debt to income ratio, and even with those people, is if they no longer have credit, is the VA loan, people that have access to VA loans, because their loans is based on credit. I mean VA credit, right? But as far as any other loan, conventional FHA, that's the reason why we use a servicing company. So you want to go buy a house tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. What they'll do is they'll ask you to show proof that you're no longer responsible for these payments here. And that's where we provide you those documentation through the servicing company. And once you show them that, they have, so the first year they will remove 75% of this loan from your debt to income ratio. And the second year they have to remove 100%, because you just need to show them proof that you're not responsible. So think about it this way. Let's say you were to rent this property to a tenant and you want to go tomorrow and take a new loan to buy a new house. What are they going to ask you? They're going to ask you, oh, okay, you have the mortgage there. Who's making the payments, right? You have to be able to show a lease with 2 months of payments up front. And then if there is a track record of rent, then you show that too, right? So it's the exact same thing. So we just have to show proof that you're not making those payments, which is where the servicing company steps in and they'll provide all the documentation you need for that.
Okay, that's what I thought. There was something that you had a key to it that I couldn't remember. That's correct.
Yeah, if sellers couldn't qualify for a new loan because of the debt to income ratio, we wouldn't be able to buy real estate.
So, yeah, exactly. So I knew there was a trick. I just didn't remember.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's really simple. So if you're not buying anything tomorrow or next month,
I'm not. No.
right? We don't even need to put we don't even
Yeah.
need to put a master lease in place. But like like I think 1 year ago, we bought a property this way, and the lady wanted to buy something right after close of escrow. And so what we had to do is to put a master lease in place the same way you do with a tenant, and then we showed 2 payments up front with 1 month rent, and that was it. That's all the lender needed. Once we provided that, she was able to buy her new home.
Okay.
Right, but
okay.
if you're doing something down the line 1 year, 2 year, then we have a track record because we've made payments. So the servicing company will provide you any documentation you need for your new underwriter.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that very much. That makes me feel much better. I was just kind of concerned. I did kind of tell Mr. Leslie about this too, but I have daughters, and I just want to be able to sign on something for them without worrying about it if they need my support. So
yeah, no, this one affects you. And then also usually, within honestly, depending what the market is doing, the problem right now with this market, things are not going up, it's going the other way around. We hope it doesn't get worse, but like if the market is doing good and this property appreciate, let's say in 7 years or 8 years, whatever, we'll be looking to refinance, pull out the equity, and buy other assets. We're not going to leave the equity hanging there. So on average, between 7 to 8 years, we refinance our properties if the market is good, if it's not a crash or anything crazy. But as far as whether we do it or not, your debt to income ratio is not going to be a problem.
Okay. And I can get those documents from you at any time.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime you reach out, anytime you want to buy something or do whatever. Like we literally just had a guy named John qualify for his new build in Atlanta. He just reached out. We just provided documentation, and he sent it to his underwriter.
Okay. Perfect. I appreciate that. That's
Absolutely.
where I was like, okay, I got to think about this before I mess something up for my girls later.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. Yeah.
That is probably the default, and this question is the top 2 questions for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because it makes sense, right? Like if I sell you my house and then I need to go buy another one, it's like, but people don't think about it the other way around. How about if I were to rent it and go buy a house? What happens? So it's the same thing. Like the underwriter just need to see a proof that you're not making those payments. That's all they need.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. That pretty much clears up everything that I need to understand about it. And then he has the other little detail I just wanted to add into the notes section.
Okay, which one?
And it is the part of as soon as I vacate, then you would assume or start making the payments on the mortgage for the taxes, the insurance, and the loan.
Yeah, that's all included in your mortgage payment, right?
Yes,
it is
all together.
Oh, okay.
And so that, but I want it stated in there in that so that I have have it all there. And he mentioned maybe prorating it if it's in the middle of the month, whatever it is when I vacate.
So just so you understand, Katrina, so the purchase and sale agreement that we have is just for instructions for title. This is not going to be recorded. The title company will draft all the documents that will actually get recorded at the county. And those documents you're going to see states clearly there that there is an underlying mortgage, the buyer is responsible for making the payments, blah, blah. All those language is in the documents that will get recorded that the title company will draft through escrow. Okay? So a subject to transaction per default does imply that the buyer is responsible for making the payments, the mortgage is staying on the seller's name. There's a small language on it, on the purchase and sale agreement. If you look at it, there's a subto disclosure. But when we send this to title, they have to draft the actual documents we're going to record. Those are the documents that's going to have all those other language you're talking about.
Okay, perfect. That's the other thing. So then, so this one's just a preliminary.
This is just you send it to title. You send it to title. You say, hey, here is a property. We're doing a subject to transaction. they do the title search, and then they draft all the documents for all parties to sign. And those documents will have a deed of trust, disclosures, blah, 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 all that fun stuff.
Okay, perfect. All right then. If you want to send that back over, I think it's timed out every once in a while. So if you can send it back over, we can go ahead and I can go ahead and sign that tonight.
Okay.
And then how quick do you think you can get an inspector here to do that part and then the closing and all that?
Honestly, I think it's gonna take us like just 2-3 days to make arrangements, just because of time, time wise. So probably 2 days, 2-3 days for somebody to have time to get over there.
Okay, perfect. And if you can make it kind of late in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a problem.
For me, so that I can be here because I got little dogs. I have to get them out.
Yeah, we'll coordinate with you anyway. You'll pick the time. We'll coordinate with you once you sign it. Then they will call the boots on the ground, and then and then we'll coordinate from you there to get a time that works for both parties.
Okay, this sounds great. Okay,
absolutely.
I'm so excited that I get to do this deal with you guys. It's so different, and
it is.
It's like a new thing. Yeah,
it is. Once we close, we're gonna need a testimonial from you.
I will. Yeah, and also I told Darnnell, I was like, I'm gonna make a big comment in there of how much easier it is than listing it with an agent and showing your house.
Ooh.
Every other day with people coming in and out of your house with all of your belongings there and having to rearrange and getting coordinated with schedules and animals out and all that. It's a lot.
That would be a good one. That would be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it in there. Don't you worry.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so
all right,
much.
guys. You enjoy your night. All right. All right. Good night, guys. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Boom. There you have it. There you have it, guys. So just so you know, when you're doing subject to transactions, these 2 questions is the most common objections you're gonna have. It's actually not questions, it's objections. Is, hey, what happens if you default on my mortgage? And then what happens if I want to go out and take another loan to buy another property or buy anything else, right? Because this mortgage is still on my name, essentially, even though you're responsible for the monthly payments. So guys, if you learn how to overcome these 2 objections, holy moly, you'll be able to lock up a lot of subto deals and a lot of, actually even seller finance, to be honest. All right, guys, tap in if you're new into this channel. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, smash the notification bell because we'll bring you more content. All right, until next time, stay bold, be bold. Boom, boom, boom.